Welcome to our presentation of EMMA, the Elkem Materials Mixture Analyzer software program. In the next few minutes we will go through how to load and to use the EMMA program and how it can help you review mix designs for your concrete. The EMMA program is a versatile tool. It enables you to input your own materials and then check the balance of the mix design. It uses particle packing technology to give you the best blend of materials to form an optimum mixture for your concrete. With the correct input data for CO2, the program can even give you a figure for the carbon footprint of your mix design. This enables you to review the mix design to see if you can reduce the CO2 using materials such as silica fume. First, we'll show you how to download and install EMMA onto your computer. We will then go through opening the program, entering materials in the library, entering your mix designs, reviewing those, and then improving that mix design so you get the most from using the EMMA program. EMMA can be downloaded from the Elkem website. In the column on the left-hand side under Support, you can see Software EMMA. This opens the page with the hotkey. Click on the hotkey and open this zip file box. Double-click on the zip file box to open the program. You will be asked if you wish to unzip this particular program. Click Yes. You will be asked to accept the disclaimer if you wish to continue loading EMMA onto your computer. The default file destination is C Program Files EMMA. Click Next to continue. Click Yes and then Next to ensure that you maintain the backup files on the EMMA program. EMMA comes with a basic library installed. Here you can select the library of materials for either the refractory application or concrete application. Please select whichever library is appropriate for your application, concrete or refractories. Now you are ready to install the program onto your computer. Click Next. And here is the welcome page for EMMA. You will note there is a What's New tab. This is because of any updates that we might put onto the program and send to you at a later date. Please click OK to start working with EMMA. EMMA will ask you to register your details. This does not mean you will be charged for the program. It merely means that we can contact you with updates for the program when they are produced. Of course, to make your concrete mixes, you will need to enter your materials into the library on EMMA. When you open the panel, you should have a materials column on the left-hand side. If you don't, click on the tab marked Materials just at the top of the red circle. It should open the library. If you do not see the library open or you get a warning message that says Cannot Find Library, please refer to the walkthrough instructions that come with the download. With this column open, please click on the CD-ROM type stack that you see in the panel. This icon will open the Materials page. Here you see a Material Library blank file. It is waiting for input of materials. So let's take a look at that. First of all, click on the button marked New Material. This opens a small box and you can enter a name for the material. When you have entered a specific name for your material, click OK to enter that material into the library on Emma. When you have entered the name, a new page will open. You will see the name registered in the material box at the top of the page, and this is where you must enter the particle density of your material. The particle density is also known as the specific gravity. Please make sure you enter the correct number here, as this figure is vital for the operation of the program. Once you have done that, click on the horizontal bar marked Interpolate Panel. A box will open below this bar. This box is where you will enter the details of your material. Please note the sieve sizes must be in micron and the grading data must be as percentage passing figures. Emma recognizes the maths symbol version of your computer's operating system. Therefore, if you're using the continental comma for a decimal point, please continue in this format. You will see an error message if Emma gets confused or the numbers don't match. Please enter all the data for your material into this box, ensuring the data is entered correctly. It does not matter how many sieves you have, Emma will use whatever you input into this box. Now click on the Calculation button. The grading will be transferred into the large white box on the right-hand side. Please do not attempt to enter any data or change any data in that box. As you can see, the grading has been entered into the white box. Now click on the D50 button. This will come up with a number. Check that this number matches 50% passing in the columns on the right-hand side. If it does, continue to the next stage. If it does not, please recheck all your numbers and do the calculation again. If you do have a value for the CO2 loading of that material, please put it into this box. This will help later on if you wish to check the CO2 loading of your mix design. Having entered all the numbers and checked the distribution figure, please click on Save Material. This will now load all the data relative to that product into your library on the left-hand side. Once you have entered one material, of course entering the next one becomes easier, and you can enter all your materials in the same fashion using the same steps from clicking on Materials Library icon. You can add all dry materials with the exception of fibers. With all your materials entered into the library, you can now start looking at some concrete mix designs. Click on the button marked New Recipe. This will open a box in the main screen. This is the folder for storing all the recipes you design on Emma. Enter a name for your mix design and click Save. This will open the blank New Recipe page. You can see the file name for your recipe in the blue box at the top of the page. You can now enter either the same name or a more specific name in the relevant box. Below there you can enter a description of the mix, which might be, for instance, self-compacting, or the specific strength, or the application for which it is going to be used. To add materials from the library into the recipe box, it's quite simple. Double-click on the material in the library. Materials can also be brought in by drag and drop, or using the panel on the left-hand side of the recipe box. Enter the quantity of material you are going to use in your mix design into the relevant column. Of course, you are looking at a unit volume for your mix design. Add all your materials in this fashion. Don't forget you'll need some free water in your mix. Enter that into this box. You need to set the calculation model. The default is Andreessen. This is the easiest format to use. Next, select the Q value for your graph. The Q value is the slope of the graph, the target line for optimum particle packing. In this case, 0.34 is a normal concrete. The Q value is not a hard and fast rule, and you will learn more about it as you progress using the EMMA program. A quick word about the Q value. The Q value gives the slope of the target line on the graph. There is no hard correlation between the Q value and the rheological properties, but with the higher Q value, the steeper the slope will be, and the mix will be more coarse and less workable. At a lower Q value, the fines content will be increased and the mix more workable. It is necessary to have a Q value of less than 0.36 for optimum particle packing. A good free flow mortar results when the Q value is less than 0.25, but if you're looking for a self-compacting concrete, the value of 0.28 has been found beneficial in designing this quality. You then need to set the maximum particle size. Remember that everything in EMMA works in microns, so a 30mm aggregate will be 30,000 micron. Now we get to the viewing stage. Click on View Graph. A box will open to tell you that EMMA is calculating. And now you see the graph. The red line is the optimum particle packing for the normal concrete we are designing. The blue line is the grading of the aggregates we are actually using. How closely does the blue line match the red line? Move the cursor to touch the blue line. A box will appear giving you the details of the particles at that point. This tells you the size of aggregate that needs to be increased, where the blue line is below the red line, or decreased, where the blue line is obviously above the red line. When you have reviewed the points to adjust, close the graph and return to the recipe page. Make adjustments to your mix. In this case, 30 kilos of silica fume has now been added, and you can see how it has changed the blue line on the graph. Changes can be made by adding materials or removing materials. If you wish to remove a material, highlight the quantity and use the red X in the column on the left of the recipe box. New materials can be added as previously. Once you have made the adjustments, click on View Graph again and see how this has altered the mix. In this way, you can make a number of adjustments to the mix without wasting time and materials in making up concretes in the laboratory. With EMMA, you can look at a mix design and refine it until you are happy with the blend, and then take that design forward to trial mixing. Please remember that EMMA only reviews the grading of the materials in terms of particle packing. The calculation cannot take into account the effectiveness of admixtures or the use of fibres, and hence some modifications to the admixture dosage or workability may be necessary when you actually make the concrete. If you did have all the CO2 values for all your materials and were able to enter them, you should be able to see the CO2 value for your concrete in this box. In this way, you can check the CO2 for all of your mixes and obviously design the ones which are most environmentally friendly.